as they come through 27-20. Dak
You guarantee a win, you better deliver.
He was happy about that.
Stuff doesn't matter.
Little sigh of relief. Dak improves to 8-1 versus Washington in his career, 22-6 versus the NFC East opponents in his career. 9th win of the season for the Cowboys. That matches the preseason win total by Caesars Sportsbook. A football team, the loss snaps their 4-game winning streak. These two teams will face each other again in Dallas in Week 16. Washington finishes with 5 divisional games, 4 after this one. This was the first of it. The Cowboys cover the 6.5 and the under hit. So as you look at this tough stretch for Washington, I mean, this is a team that's also in a wild card hunt here.
Well, they're one of the many 6 and 7 teams that are around trying to get in the wild card. They play Philly next week. That's a big game for them. And, this ended any chance they had to win a division. If they won this game, they were within a game in the division. And, that would have been interesting if that had happened, but they didn't. And so here they go. They got to try and hope they get to be a wild card team. I don't think they will be. I don't think they're good enough.
It's interesting to see when you look at Dallas, and it's kind of similar to the Chiefs, because you expect all of this offense. You see Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott and Lamb and Cooper and, all the pieces that they have, and it's the defense that's been carrying them. It's, very similar to what's happening in Kansas City. This defense, like you said, they're getting guys back. Micah Parsons has been fantastic, and the other pieces have been great.
And just a quick bit about Dallas here. Let's talk about Dak Prescott for a second, because, he started the season off on a flyer in the MVP conversation, 3+ touchdowns in his first 5 games. He hasn't had that type of a game since Week 6. 1 touchdown today, a couple of interceptions as well. Are you concerned about Dak Prescott considering the defense is carrying this team?
4 sacks. I'm concerned about the offensive line. They have not protected him well. You see the way they're running the ball. They're not running the ball well. No Tony Pollard today, so Ezekiel Elliott, 12 carries, 45 yards. He hasn't had everybody healthy for a long stretch. This is now back-to-back games where Cooper and Lamb and Gallup and Schultz are all there together. So let's see what happens moving forward. This is a good Washington defense. Even though they don't have the pass rush, this defense has still played really well.
Here's the problem. You can't make that throw at the end of the game. That was a sophomoric mistake on his part. You boot out. You can't throw that ball to the linebacker into his stomach and let them have a chance to win the game. That's the problem. It's not his entire body of work. It's those little mistakes each week. We're seeing too many of those. He's got to cut those out.
Pete, what about Micah Parsons? This is a guy he's going to be the defensive rookie of the year.
He might be in the conversation for defensive player of the year. That's how good he's played. And he can play inside. He can go out and rush the passer. And now they got guys back that can rush the passer. They had 6 sacks today. You have Gregory, Lawrence. They can rush the passer off the edge, so you can do different things with him. You can move him inside. He had a sack when Antonio Gibson couldn't block him right up the middle.
The fumble.
Yeah, and so those are the big plays that you're going to get from that defense. Gallimore, who's just getting back, had a sack today. That defensive line is nasty. And if Dan Quinn can call plays with the defensive line and Parsons being the only ones that have to come, he can play coverage on the back end, they'll be fine.
Is this the best assistant coaches in the league? Offensive and defense combined?
It's a good staff. It's a good staff. Kellen Moore's a good offensive coach, and Dan Quinn's a hell of a defensive coach.
And if they can get that offense going, look out. They're already in a good position as it stands right now, but if they get that offense going, with the way the defense is playing, look out for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, for Pete Prisco and Jamie Eisenberg, I'm Jeremy St. Louis. That wraps up the early games for you here on CBS Sports HQ. Thanks for joining us. Plenty more coming up on the...
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.